Hey, I'm here to do another tutorial for you guys. This one's going to be a little different than my other speed builds. It'll be a little slower. Instead, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a 2-story building in Animal Crossing. I don't claim any credit for the idea. I've put in the description a few really cool dream codes that helped inspire my build. A lot of the ones I've seen have been a lot more of a city feel, and so they use trash bags and they have darker tones. I wanted to go for something a little different, so I went with a much lighter design. As you can see here, I'm using cliffs to build the overall structure of my building. Afterwards, I'm going to cover it with different items and decorations to hide the fact that it is a cliff. As for the structure, I definitely recommend making it at least 4 deep. This is because you need to have at least one space around the second level, otherwise the game won't let you build the cliff out. I like having 2 spaces in front of the second floor, so that gives me room to not only add in decorations that will cover the cliff, but also give me room to add a balcony or add other things that would give it a little more interest on the front. I like using simple panels to cover up the front of my building. I think they do a great job of blocking off the cliff and making it so that it looks like an actual building. There's 3 main designs I definitely recommend either downloading or making yourself, and that would be a door, a building structure, so for example I'm using bricks, and then the third one would be the same thing except you throw a window over it. You can definitely add in other custom designs as well if you want extra details. If you like the ones I made, I did upload these into the Able Sister shop, and my creator code is on the screen as well as in the video description. As you can tell by my mess on the floor, I like to use a lot of different types of items when I'm making these buildings. I think the best items are usually ones that have a blank backside, so that way you can turn them around and it just looks like a wall. Things that are tall, things that have corners are all usually pretty good at looking like an additional room on the side of a building rather than like a wardrobe stuck on the side. Definitely get creative because there's a lot of different options to use. Once you have the structure of your building down, I definitely recommend building some extra cliffs around it. That will make it easier for you to place items on the very top and as well as cover every other square on the building. Once you start decorating, I recommend building from the top down. I usually start first by laying down a custom design on all the grass up here, just so that way if there is any exposed part of the ground, it doesn't look like there's suddenly grass on someone's roof. Once you start laying items down, you have a lot of flexibility in what you want to use. So for example here, I like using the box sofa corners and the regular sides because I think they do a great job of just making a straight border. I also use the Turkey Day fireplace because I think it does a great job of adding structure. Plus you can place items on top of it. So here I used a record box that I threw a custom design on with my window, so it looks like it's an extra attic room on the finished product. Once you reach this part of the build and you start decorating the second story, there's 2 main pieces that I think are super important for making sure it looks good. One is bookcases. They are a little taller than a cliff, so they do a great job of just covering up an entire wall, as well as simple panels. And so I use the same design that I used on the first floor for continuity. The bookcases are also great for adding in dimension because they only take up half a space. Here you can see that I was able to make my door look sunken in because I had it next to the bookcase rather than the simple panels that are half a square forward. I'm going to start using fences to put around my building. I like using 3 different ones. The first 2 main ones are going to be the stone and the hedge fences. I find that when you alternate them vertically, it makes it so it looks like your stone fences are covered in ivy rather than just having it be the same type of fence all the way around. The third fence I like to use are the spooky fences from the Halloween event. I think they look fancier than the iron fences that came with the game, and I think they also do a great job of looking like a gate to the entrance of a house. I also like using them for the balcony area because I think they do a good job of creating an enclosure if you lay them horizontally rather than vertically. As I start my left building, it's going to be more or less the same. The only difference is I'm going to be using brown furniture instead of white furniture to try to make it look a little different. I ran out of custom design spots, so I couldn't make a different colored brick, but I definitely recommend using a bunch of different custom designs if you can. That way your buildings don't all look the same. Instead, I'm going to use this time to talk about some tips on laying down wide furniture. I struggle a lot, to be completely honest, when I'm laying down furniture in tight spaces. Some tips if you're laying down furniture: it always faces you directly when you place it, but if it's too wide and it doesn't fit in the spot, it will turn clockwise, and you can use that to help you when you're laying down items that you only want to see one side of, or in this case a bookcase where you don't want to see books on the side of the building. As I put the finishing touches on this building, I've put the recipe for each building on the screen. I put the names of the furniture I used in each as well as the number of them, and for the DIY recipes I did put the ingredients needed as well. For example, bookshelves use 5 books and 10 wood, so if you needed to start the painful process of ordering 5 books every day from the Nook shopping app, you can start that now since each building did use 15 books. But as you can see here, I use a lot of other items as well. For example, I think the wood burning fireplace is really great for making a chimney since it's so tall. The stalls are great for making something that looks like an awning or a balcony. I think the organ from the wedding event in June is great for making something that looks like a bay window on the side of a building, plus it's really tall, so it's nice and dramatic. Here I used a Turkey Day hearth to make a dramatic entrance over the doorway, and I've also used a log chair because I think it looks like railings. I'm just gonna finish up the fences and the trees, and I should be just about done with my tutorial. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and slow down time so you can see the finished product. I've used the Turkey Day garden stands as decorations in the front. I put some plants and some flowers and trees here as well. I'm gonna do a quick walk around so you can see most of the cliff is covered all around. It does look a little weird on the very top, but the overall goal is for the front of the building to look cool. I built these right in front of the airport, so the first thing you see when you come into the town is going to be the front of these houses. But that's the end of my tutorial. I hope you found this helpful. I hope this inspired you to make something cool on your island. And as always, thanks for watching.